So now I will actually continue with the Canon Zoom Lens EF 2105 and aperture for L IS USM, and it's the error 1 aperture problem, and this will be part 2. So let's continue with sample the whole thing again. And this is the aperture. Yeah, it is. And I found out a thing that when to put this aperture assembly into the whole lens and all the parts, it is better to fold the earth or the ground around here. Then put a adhesive tape here and around here. So now I have only one I only have this one leg flex cable plug to get into correct place. So now I will put this in again and see what we can do about it. See, it should sit there. Oh, it's really thin. Where is that goes? Here. So I mean, I got the whole aperture assembly instead of buying the flex cable and actually desoldering this flex cable and put it in, because there could be problems with the old aperture assembly. So I better go for this one. It was just easier for me. So I can just put it in. And where should it sit? Correct. There. Oh, sit where it should. And I have a screw over here. So try to see if I can get it into correct position. So tighten the screws gently. There's no need for over tighten them. So there, the last screw. And then the rest of the assembly should be quite easy. So now it's correct. Let's see, it's okay, fine. So now I can just continue with the rest here. This lens goes in here, and there isn't any, no, nothing, no dust or dirt in here. Hold on a second. Oh. Okay, I try again. There was a little fingerprint on here. It happened now and then. Now, put it back in again. Oh, I was wrong. It was just the opposite side it came in from. Yeah, it's not that hard to do. Of course, it should be in from here. Yeah. Things happen. So, here we are. Okay. And catch the one screw. So, now safe home. There it is. And the last screw. And where should it sit? Here. So, that's it. Now it sits correct. Oh gosh. I just need to vacuum cleaning a little. There was just some small hairs here, so need to get rid of those. It works pretty good with the battery-driven vacuum cleaner. I actually made a video about this, but I think it's a good solution instead of using the blower to blow it everywhere. So now you see there is a white piece here that I need to take off, and that's this adhesive flex here will just sit here, and it's quite strong, this adhesive tape. So it's all fine. So now we are ready to put it back in again. But of course I need to put in the front lens here of the Aperture assembly. So remember this, it has to sit here. Those you see, you probably can see there is a little pin here, and they are with all three of them. So be careful when you put it in. So wiggle a little, probably. So now we are in a more safe position and can put in the 3 screws holding this lens part. And make sure to not tighten them too much. We need to adjust the 3 eccentric before we can tighten the screws. Just to hold it in place, then you can unscrew it a little. Oh, there was a spacer here. So here we are. Patient, patient. That's a key word. So now I can put it in. I mean, I have to tighten it a little so it's not too loose. Not tighten yet. There. So I think it will be fine for now. So I can add the, what do we have? 1. And where is number 1 here? There's 1, 2. So I need the number 1 over here. Yeah. Oh gosh, it's tiny. So that's it. Where's my number 1? It's over here. I just need to press it in and line it up in almost correct position. But I can, because I set my mark here, I can also see where it is. That's why it is so important to set small marks. And number 2 is here. And it should sit like this. Where does it go? It goes there. I think it will work pretty good with this this way of doing it. Then press it in. So, and where should it sit? Let's see. There. And the other one, it was a bit out of alignment. Now sits correct. And this last one, also sit where it should. So now I can actually see all the 3 marks I set is all in line. And then I can tighten the screws good. So there. So now we have things in place, and can put this into this barrel here, and it has to sit correct. So when I put in the cable here, it has to go through down here. And because I have taped the ground here, it should work. But of course I need to use a tweezer to dig it out or whatever you say, because it was not that part that was the easy way. So it was a bit tricky, but I think it will just make it easier instead of having the whole image stabilizer out, and you also have to adjust that after. And with this way, it's not necessary. Yeah, it sticks out here. So something is working. And my tweezer is here. So hopefully I can get it out. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's not that easy. So let's see what's happening here. Yeah, I have to turn it a little. No. Okay, I think I will do like this. Bend it a little, and it would, that way maybe should be more easy. Okay, here we are, and can push in this assembly here. Whoa. Now I can yeah, it has to be pressed into here where it should sit, and then I can put in the black, the small black pieces here. Whew. So now it actually works. So now I can put in the 3 screws holding the aperture assembly. So then I can, where's my markers here? Fine. So then I can put this ring in, and it should sit like this. My mark I set earlier up here, and this notch here should sit in here. So in with a plastic thingy, then the 3 screws holding it, and then we have actually done most of it. I mean, well, a lot of it. So we go to this, and we will bend the flex cable here, and I think it's better to do it before I put in the back lens group. And you see there is a mark here, those on each side. So it's where the flex cable has to be bent, and it doesn't have to be really hard bent, because then you can probably, I mean, I use a plier here and set it between the 2 marks and simply bend the cable just a little, because then I can even bend it more. It's a bit what do you say, yeah, fragile, I would say. We can just do it again. So there. And then put this little fellow on, because it's it has to sit like this over it. I mean, maybe it's better to do that, and hopefully we can better see what's going on. It's a bit, it's really thin, so there, so it's fine, just pressing a little, and then we can put the little fellow on here, and it has to sit correct, of course, because we have the self-adhesive tape here, the white wax paper. I will take it off, and when this one sits correct onto the flex, I can now, well, I can actually do it now. Just move this sticky tape that actually hold the ground wire in place. Be careful when you take that off. So there, fine. And then I can put this on, has to sit correct, so when it's on, it has to sit like this. So when I flip it over, it will sit down to here. That was the intention. So there, and we can put it in here. It's a bit, I mean, it's very alive, I can say. maybe it's better to have them that way. And so we can put it on. It's so thin, so I think we make it. Has to sit in the middle, and then I can just gently press with a plier. So doesn't have to be more than that. And then take off the wax paper on the back and simply simply so there, and so it's fine for now, and I will just let it sit like this. Then I can put in the back lens group with the 3 spacers, which of course has to sit correct. I'll just pull this back so we can see what's happened here. So there, one, just go that way round, so they have to sit correct. It will say like this. It will be number 1, then number 2, so, and the last one. So then I just need to just clean a little. There is some dirt in there, so I will just use my vacuum cleaner. And it's all fine, so I can put in the back lens group. And everything is fine. You see there are 2 notches. I mean, it doesn't really matter, because I set the mark here in the beginning, and I just have to find the same mark where it should sit and put the lens on. It will say something like, just have to be aware of the flex, but it should be all fine. So, and there, then put in the 3 screws holding the back lens. You see, it's good to have the spacers here, because it will prevent the whole lens assembly from going into the barrel here. Tighten the screws good. So, well, that's it. And then we can actually take out the 3 spacers here holding this and put the front barrel here on. And I will also give the screws some length thread lock. It will be, just need a little, and it will be the Loctite 222. It's the softest of all those thread lock. It's purple. So we will use it for other screws too, so prevent it from falling apart. So on those 3. And no, I'm not sponsored by any company, just to get that clear. So then I can add the front, my markers here, my notches here, and then I can find my red dot here. So when I put this on, it should just slide over here, and then I can add a little, not on the thread, but more on this, as you can see here, on the side of the screw head. So it will prevent the screw from loosening. Maybe a little too much, but we'll make it. Doesn't have to be a lot, but there is a lot of tension on those 3 screws, because the whole front lens assembly is quite heavy. So there, the last one. Where did it go? Here. So now it's in here. Yeah, just need a piece of paper to wipe away the rest of whatsoever there was here. Yeah, that's all fine. So now, yeah, what we do now, we can, yeah, I can just put in the lens, the front lens group into place, and it's fully set to, what do you say, yeah, and I mean the 24 is zoomed out. So the whole the focusing ring in here is actually closest to the front. Then I can put in the front. Can only sit in one position. So this, the first one, this one here, has to go in here. So we do that. And since I set the mark here, I can just put it in. So everything is lined up. So then it will turn So, like this. We just turn it all the way over here. And then try to actually pull out the... It will say I have to push in the whole... not here. So, just to prevent the lens from falling out. Well, it will not. It will just stay there. Make sure the flex cable here on the back it's not getting stuck. So we can just put it in here. So, and the lens will just stay there. So what next? I will just put on the focusing assembly with the focus motor. And where is my gap? The gap is here. And the front, the focusing lens have to go all the way over to here, where I set the mark. So if you look at the back, we can see it here. It has to sit over there. And the focus ring here has also set all the way over to where it should there. Cannot go any further. So let's see, bit difficult to show on camera. So this pin in here will slide into here. So let's see if it's possible. Maybe, maybe not. Because we also have to take care of the flex cables. So maybe it's better if we turn it over. See what's happened. I think it should be there. Just using a flashlight. It was not correct. So if I turn this lens a little, we can hopefully show what's happened down here. Yeah, I think it would be fine. Then lower it over and it will sit correct. So now we have to be really careful about the flex cable for the aperture. As long as it sits there, I can just lower it over here. So here we are in the correct position almost. Has to be move it a little. Not correct yet. Has to sit there. So here we are. And let's see if the focusing ring doesn't really work. Bloody. Well, I'll try again. The focusing lens came out But I can just move it, turn it a little, and get it to so. And now it sits correct. So not much space around here. So, and it sits correct. So, is it possible to move the focusing ring? Whoa, it will turn. So everything is good. Whew. Then I can put in some screws, especially on the that the focusing motor sits correct, and it sits with those 4 screws. And the same again, I will use some thread lock, not on the thread but on the side of the screw. So everything is fine. Well, I was a little not sure how the barrel here should sit, but I was a little not well. You see, the brass thing here for the flex should actually go in here and be screwed on. So, and now I can put this on with the correct. Sometimes things happen. Yeah. So, but those flex cables are really annoying. They're very alive, and you really have to get them into correct position. So here we are. Now that was a bit of a journey. The ground here should also sit correct, but it didn't came incorrect. So there, here we are. I mean, looks like, yeah, I think it's, yeah, I think it sits correct. It looks like. So we can just try put in a screw, and we can just go, oh no, oh. So how, there. Whew. Now that was a bit of a challenge. Now, I think everything should be fine for now. So I will add the zoom ring, and it has to go on around over here. And again, take care of the flakes. It's so... There. Then we can turn it to where the notch is. And hopefully put in the key. Have to zoom out a little. So one have to move this is area where the focusing, the zoom key has to sit. So we can just press it a little onto one side and put in the key. And for this one, we will actually use some thread lock on the thread. So now turn the zoom key until it's fall into place. There. Nah, not the correct. So there it is, and put in a screw. Whew. Now that was a bit of a challenge. So let's see. Will it zoom in and out? Wow. And also make sure the flex cable here, hopefully you can see it, this one does work correct. So when you zoom out, zoom in, yeah, it must be zoom in, the flex cable works as it should and not bending or stretching. So everything should be fine. Now that's good. Tighten the screws good for the for the zoom key. Whew. Now here we are, and now I can add the circuit board. Well, there was actually one thing I forgot because I didn't recognize it. You see, on the Aperture flex cable there was actually more self-adhesive stuff. So I will just, where's my tweezer here, pull off the wax paper. There, because this has to sit in this area here underneath, just so we have that clear. So, and now everything is lined up and we can put on the circuit board. Yeah, everything should be fine. So now we can add all the cables, flex cables here. So there. Now we are there. Let's see, we get the back ring here. And it has to sit correct. What is have to sit there. The white mark here is in line with the other white mark here. So then I can add the mount, the holes for the connector. So be careful with the gasket. So there. And now the connector come here with the two small screws. So now we can add this, the back here. So the only thing we need to do is actually put on not this one, where it's going here. Oh. So now fine for now. And will it work? Yes, it does. So now I can put in the front lens. Add this ring here with a protection or whatever it is. See, now I can put the lens on something. Then add the front lens. And where is my mark? Should be somewhere. So I can just use the lens sucker here and put it on. And since I set a mark in the beginning, in the very beginning, the mark is here, and it is also here. So everything is lined up correctly there. And 3 screws. And then I will also add a little, not on the thread, but on the screw head. Last screw. I wonder why the screws are so short. I mean, they could have been longer if you look at how heavy the front lens is. So now, wow. And now we just need the last part, which will be the brush, the zoom brush. And I will just add a little on the screw head. That's it. And just dig under tape here. And add this brush here. And since I also set a mark here before I took it apart, well, it has to set the correct place again. And it will be there. So now, the last screw and the rubber band for the zoom ring. Now, then we can close the door here. See, that's all fine. On with the rubber thing. And then the exciting moment. Oh, will it work? I guess. I mean, I hope. It's always a challenge to see will it be fine when you actually have spent a lot of time working with the lens. Let's see. Nothing happened. Well, at least the camera is on. Well, it will be fine. Yeah, can it work? Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, it seems to actually working pretty good. So I'll just take a test shot of my focusing and how good is it? If we just zoom in, wow, it's actually really good. So now that's perfect. So yeah, but what if I actually, if we say here, change the aperture, will it work still? Well, it's maybe too close to it, but I can just shoot it. Yeah, there's actually a picture on. So let's say It's working. Ah, yeah, I forgot to put on the bloody nameplate. And yeah. So there. And that's it. So now I have a working 24 to 105 millimeter. Yeah. Hope you enjoy the content. I mean, it was a little longer than I expected, but there were some issues that one have to figure out. But see you in another video. Bye bye.